Welcome back, Illumineers, to this week's episode of the Workshop Podcast. And we've been just big chilling.
We have been in the workshop with our hoodies on, hats on, cooking up, getting everything ready to bring you an awesome episode of some, meta decks that we think are cool / will impact the meta.
Think that Winterspell is upon us. I think we're all kind of entering that mode of just that Winterspell's already here, basically. It's just within our grasp. So I think it's going to be awesome to see the new decks that kind of come out of this. I think it's going to be super impactful, a lot of the new cards.
Yeah, and a lot of it just seems like all of the colors are kind of scary to play again. I guess we can kind of go right into our small talk because it kind of goes into this a little bit, my testing. I've beat every deck and I've also lost against every deck. There'll be games I'm like, blue, red, that deck is awful. This is gonna be easy. And I'm like, oh wait, I can actually lose to this. If everything
they get
goes
the right things and I get the wrong things. Very, very diverse meta.
Yeah. I haven't seen any blue-green.
I mean, it's probably a deck. I think it's similar to Blurple, where it's like, we know it exists. We know it's really good. Yeah. I think everybody wants to play with the new cards. And I guess on my own side, I haven't really been playing too much. I played a little bit of not Winterspell meta on Lorcana this week, just to grind some Yeah. Oh.
Don't say Zach.
Oops.
I don't know where you played. You played online.
However, I have not given money to the site that will no longer be named again. And I don't know. I find that it's a little bit more mysterious to go into the pre-releases. I can't remember if it's going to be next set that's the pre-release kits.
Yeah.
So we won't get pre-release kits this time around. So Into the Wilds will be a ton of fun for the pre-releasing, but I'm excited to get my hands on the new cards, but I have not played any of the new meta yet. But obviously it's probably the Wild West out there, so there's not a ton of this deck's absolutely broken.
No.
But
even the best part about it is just you can play your fun decks or the decks that you have always been trying. Really is green, red, emerald, ruby. Powerline songs. You can play that, and you don't have to waste a week and a half or two at locals and be like, wow, I didn't win a single game, or just not waste your time because it's everyone's time's different. But it's good to just put the new cards in there and just feel okay, this whole deck is going to basically be new cards. Let's see how it affects a cat or affects a Hades or stuff like that.
I can also appreciate that I feel like a lot of these cards have been more impactful. There are some times where a set comes out and you're like, oh, there's 4 good cards in this set. So the fact there's just so many different cards that you can definitely play around with and see if they're good. And I mean, as far as actually playing the game, I haven't gotten to too much, but obviously I've been hard at the workshop trying to make some deck lists, and so is Mark. We've been just trying to brew, because I think that more just getting it on the paper is more impactful than jamming games, because I think that some people will be playing silly decks, that you probably won't see very much. So I think that more than anything, just getting pen to paper and actually getting deck lists and even just thinking about them and be because even with some of the decks that we'll be talking about, there's even some changes that I've had to make, because I feel sometimes you go up and down with counterintuitiveness.
Same. And there's already things new cards are already impacting. I was gonna ask you what do you think? I know you haven't tested it all, but what do you think your favorite card is going to be, or what do you think card is underrated, something like that? No, I'm putting you on the spot.
I personally think that the Timon 3-drop the bare necessities with a creature is going to be one of the more impactful cards, just based on how many more like non-character cards that I think have like come out that are so good, like Let It Go, and you've got the new Raging Storm. You've got all these cards that people are going to try to contest with. You have still the new, like Sapphire Emerald is still probably going to be a deck, so they have Malicious Minion and Scary, and they have Under the Sea that are kind of part of their like combo-y type deal, so like you can rip that out of their hands, versus like Mowgli was like awkward. There were so many games against Kawa at the DLC where I was like Mowgli, and it's like, okay, I have Develop My Brain and the Azrai at Sea, so you didn't even get my ramp. I'm just gonna throw him as like, so, or like I have a Spooky Sight and I have a Develop Your Brain, so you didn't get the Spooky Sight. So versus this is like, grab your Spooky Sight, goodbye, like no Spooky Sight right now. So I think, and he's also a character, so better than Bare Necessities in that regard.
Yeah, I mean that's a good prediction. A lot of like the testing too is people just been keeping two, and it's like they have to get rid of like one of them and they keep the good one. So the Timon kind of just comes right after to the good one. I say an underrated card. I have two. Like in the Lion King and Amber phase, I've been testing the Pumbaa, the 6 cost unthinkable that discards. And it's like, sometimes it's really good and it takes the last card and it's like, this is perfect, But the body is like a 5/6 quest for 2 is actually crazy. And it takes out like everything and survives. And when you're running with Amethyst, like we'll get more into it in the list. But
yeah. Is it one of the lists that you made up?
I'm pretty sure I put it in the list.
Fair enough.
And then the other card that I didn't put in, but I've been seeing and hearing about, is the Tigger, the 4-cost Tigger. That card is actually ridiculous. Like, basically, Mother's Know Best on a body. That obviously it's not anything. It's 2 cost or less. But hitting anything in dogs, like anything in the Amber Steel aggro deck, the Singers for Power Line, hitting those, the new Acute, like it hits everything that people like want, and it's like, and it's a 4/3. So actually, they go character, you Tigger, bounce, and then you ramped. So then they play another character, and then you just Elsa, and then the Tigger takes almost everything out. So it's like I bounced it and I got rid of it.
I mean, we've seen a lot of times, like it's not always the case, but that like unconditional bounce is pretty bananas. Even bounces has drawbacks with like Foxes were good, but like if you have a bounce that can target anything, it's just like even more powerful. Like your opponent, or when I say anything, I mean like not based on restrictions, but like you can target your opponent's thing, or you can target your own thing. There's just so many like cheeky interactions where they're like, oh, I'm gonna definitely, you get a free quest because you get the quest, and then you bounce their thing that was gonna attack it, and just get another turn.
Well, it also includes items. So it's like you can hit the ink runners. I mean, it's not like the best one, but like lantern, hitting a lantern.
Yeah, no.
Slows you down a lot. Like, and it's different on like blue-red than it's like, I've ramped. There's no way you can really get rid of this. When like Amber, you take it away, like you actually really feel.
I mean, that's where you saw the Wasabi being played.
Yeah.
Because it's just like sometimes when you go ramp on 2, play Wasabi on 3, you know what I mean? You just blow up their lantern, and now they have to play a 3-drop next turn, and like that's fine, but like now they haven't ramped. Now their whole like plan of like get to Monstro early is gone unless they have another land. And if you have, the thing is, if it's almost a good thing if they have the follow-up lantern, because that means they had 2 lanterns in their starting hand, and or like had a lantern and then drew a second lantern, and it's like that would have been okay but not great because you can't use it to cast itself. But so well, I think without further ado, we might as well just like go right into some of the decks.
Yeah, and then do you want to go like every other?
So yes, I think that they were downloaded in a different order, and I think you made a few more decks than me, so we can like kind of alternate running through them. But I guess if like one of us like shows up more than once, in a row. Like we can like just trade back on like our thoughts on the deck and stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking whoever made the deck can kind of go over their like reasons or like
Yeah.
what they see, and then like just counter it or
Yeah,
have comments.
yeah. Like what your thoughts are. There might be even a card I wasn't thinking of when I like built the deck, and if you have an idea or something, still tinkering all of these decks in the workshop. We are.
Yeah, we are.
So I guess I'll start off just because I already have the Winterspell dogs. It's kind of been up there. I think that my favorite card that I just talked about kind of goes into the conversation about this deck. The deck's great. I think it's not really going anywhere, even with the 8-cost ramp. Or the 8-cost Raging Storm that like blows up the be prepared to everything. Because I think with the Timon we've got more counteraction. So with this list, it's kind of taking an ode to the top 8 dogs. So we're still going in this direction where we're minusing things. So we've got 4 decisive dog, which is pretty much a must add to the dog stick. Otherwise, it's just Emerald Amber aggro. We have 4 Rhino for minusing to make our Under the Seas better, 4 Bobbies, 4 Webbies, and I ended up wanting to sneak the Webbies in as well because not only do we have the decisive dog to worry about, but we also have the new Mulan, which we'll go into in a minute. But we have, so we're playing the 2-cost Grandmother Willow, right? Yeah. It's Grandmother Willow. This card's a talk of town. It was almost the card I mentioned when you asked me my favorite card because I think that it's going to be super impactful. Not having to exert it to use its effect is just so good. Like you just never turn this thing sideways, and you're just paying 1 less for every character every turn. And so there's so many interactions where you can play a thing for less, and then get your dog out early. Play a lady. For like instead of on turn 3 playing a lady and 1 thing, and then your decisive dog not being able to quest for 3, you get to pay 1 less for your lady for 2, play the lady, then play a 2-drop, and then possibly play a 1-drop, and then you've played 3 things. You boosted up your lady, and you can quest for 3, which is sweet. Another new addition, because we have the Lilos and the Mowglis, which are pretty standard. I felt like I had to state of 4 of each of them. But I put 2 of the Simbas because I took out the Adelis Moon Lullaby.
That's crazy.
So my idea behind this is just to basically kind of lean back a little bit on that. It's like a very character involved deck, and that my Willows are going to be making things cost less, and that by having those dead cards like Della Moon Lullaby, like I was sometimes not getting the tramp quick enough.
Now you have Willow, you can do it on 3 on Willow.
Yeah, or even that, like, you play Willow on 2, that on 3 you can play a Simba for 1, and a Rhino, and another Rhino. You can -4 or something. And, like, obviously that's a bad example, but, like, you have up to -4ing ability across characters, so that, like, lets you have better Under the Seas. Which is why I thought, like you can't reduce the Della Moon. You can sing with Della Moon Lullaby, but with the Willow, you can cast it for 1, which is good. Along with like Ursula being cast early, so you can sing the Under the Sea alongside the Simbas and the Rhinos. And even just those like weird interactions where you can like get really good attacks back on your opponent, where you like minus their attack and then you plus your attack with Della or with Webby, and like minus theirs with Simba, and you get like a really good trade. I ended up having to shave 1 Go-Go just to like make room because I want to like see the new cards in action rather than like play a Go-Go that I already like knows. I know Go-Go's good. If we find like the new cards are bad, we'll trim the new cards. Which goes into one of like probably what got trimmed for Go-Go, which is the Mulan. So she's capped at 6 lore, but she's got 1 attack, 2 health, 2 cost inkable, and so for every attack she has, you get the quest for an extra lore. So basically, she has her base stat of 1 attack, and she can always quest for 1, as long as she's not minused. But then with Webby, you can make it 1 more. But then also with Tramp, you can make it the full 6, so you can quest for 6 with a 2-drop. So I think that there's probably some like really nasty interactions where you play her early and then you just get a really good Tramp on like turn 4 or something, and you just quest to like 14.
Yeah, you
probably in a really bad position. They have to use a removal spell on it, possibly. And it's like great news for you if they're like, removal spell, you're 2-drop. And you're like, okay, play another one. Or like, play Tramp or something, you know.
So the fact is Engel is kind of crazy.
Yeah, like if it's just not the move, because they have like strengths and like they have all the removal spells, like fire the cannons and stuff, and you're like, oh, this card's bad right now, just ink it. It's probably not. So 4 Tramp, 2 of the 3-cost Lady, 2 of the Timon. I'd love to go up to like 3 or 4 of them, but he's uninkable, so he's a little awkward. I'm a little scared.
And the 3-cost. Yeah,
the 3-cost is tough. Because we also have like 4 of the ladies that are shift 3, and the 2 of the 3-cost ladies. And sometimes around turn 4 when you would cast the big lady or the 3-cost lady or Timon, you're probably gonna want to play Tramp instead sometimes. So to like get him out there before all your guys die. And which, speaking of Tramp's obviously insane, so I feel like the addition of a 5th Tramp in a deck that super synergizes with the Tramp effect is just going to be super good. Like, this 8-drop is going to be awesome. So basically, I think the 8-drop is good just because he also sings Under the Sea, and just has a Tramp-like effect. It doesn't draw you any cards, but, like, to be fair, Tramp doesn't really draw you cards, he cycles you cards. That's
he really doesn't look for the cards. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that 8-cost yet. It really just depends.
Hold on 1 second, Mark.
Yeah.
Did. Why it just keeps disconnecting?
Yeah, I'm going crazy on this podcast.
No, it says I have 93 and 91%. Oh, I don't know why it keeps just doing that. Sorry, Mark. I will.
It's alright.
Hopefully not get disconnected. So basically, yeah. The final card was the 8-drop other than Under the Sea, and I think it's good because it's early played like Tramp. You just get a big body on the board. He has a bigger body than Tramp too. He's a 4/5 quest for 2.
Yeah, it just like depends on how many characters you're gonna be able to keep. Like, and then maybe. Like, in this version, you're not turning sideways that much, actually. Like, you're kind of waiting for the board wipe, so then you can quest. So, like, it's a 4/5. So, if you can get it for 3, it feels really good. So, you need to have 5 characters then?
Yeah.
I mean, which is doable with the Willow, honestly. You could probably actually get 5 on...
Yeah, it's also being reduced. I think that's where the Tramps and him will come out more than they used to with the Willows. Basically being a 2 reduction, because she herself is a character, reducing it by 1, and then does another reduction. So you can your Tramp super early, and that's where like Lady 5-cost uninkable doesn't even seem as bad anymore, because if you play her for 4, that's like nuts. So you might even like aggro a little bit early in some games. And that's the 5-drop Lady and him have in common the 4 attack, which is like they're the only things in the deck with a substantial attack. So they're good for combat, and then they're also good to not get Under the Sea back by like like they have to use a Delamoon Lullaby or a Simba or a Rhino to like try to get them down.
Yeah, or any of like the new Ruby cards.
Oh,
that like almost your whole deck. No, I like it. It's going to be interesting to see like the because this is like fast, but it's also like control-y and mid-rangey. So I do miss the doubles. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, no, it was a sweet. I felt like I had to cull it back just a little bit for the new cards, but yeah, they might make them back in.
No, yeah, I mean, and the Donald that too was kind of crazy to me. I think that is one of the best cards in the deck, and I love that Donald so much.
Yeah, he was another card where it's like he's so good, so is Della, but like they were just like not
especially
new cards.
Play it on
3, playing Donald on 3 is nuts.
But like you said, you got to fit new cards in to see.
Yeah, I just want to see if they're good, and then we'll go back to what works at some point if this stops working.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go on. Let me see if this next one. No. We'll go back to 2 in a minute. Yeah, so this one is your Steel Song list.
Nice, starting off nice and cool. So yeah, I made the Steel Song list. I did not test it at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it kind of could have legs. I don't think this version is the legs, but I wanted to give someone like a nice starting point because it's cool, So we have the 4 Rhino, 4 Mulan. Rhino's really there for the shift. Mulan is there because like the uninkables were like kind of high. And sometimes you have like those songs that you don't really want to draw. I have the Acute, the Singer 3 that has the underdog effect. We have 2 Mowgli, 4 of the Troubadour, 1 of the Ursula. Have 5 of the singers. The 4 Doc, 2 Gargoyle. Honestly, like a lot of older cards. It's really just like the new Acute. But we have 4 of the Ariel, the Boost, the Mickey. We have the Rhino Shift, and then we have this new card, the 5 cost Stitch that draws a card. I think it could be good, especially with the Mickey. Like it becomes a 4/7, just like the Surfer Stitch.
For 5,
I think
right?
still what?
For 5, right?
Yeah, for 5. So
that's pretty good.
5 of the cannons with all the willows and all like the smaller like Mulans coming out and stuff. It's probably going to see more play. So it probably should be up more, but again, I was like way too many uninkables.
I think it's 14 or 15 if I count right.
Yeah, and like that's like the most I wanted, and it was like kind of hard because at first I was gonna like, oh, maybe we can go like,
all in on Beyond the Horizons and be like old school.
Well, I was thinking like Beyond the Horizon and the other song. I just think Monster Reborn, and I can't think of it.
Circle of Life.
Yeah, Circle of Life.
Yeah, no.
I was like, maybe we go Circle of Life and Mickey actually with the Mulan. I was like, nah. Yeah, and I think the Acute is cool. Like you could get an Ariel on turn 2, or get a Mickey on turn 2, and then the Acute is a 2/4 now, so it might actually not get taken out by an opposing character that turn. Like Calhoun couldn't take it out. So I think that's actually pretty interesting. And even going forward in other Amber decks, like Acute into that Mickey could be the move just to save it. But like, there's not as many good 3-cost songs that you really want to even care about keeping it, unless then you're singing Beyond the Horizon the next turn, or
there's a world where you like dump your hand and have that on 1 because you're on the draw, and then you play turn 2 Troubadour, and then you just sing Beyond the Horizon, just like mess them up. Because like really that in this deck, like I feel like you could just catch somebody by surprise with that, or like dang, I had a really good hand and now I have 3 cards.
Yeah, I think the card I should have added, I just didn't know what to take out, was the new Nani. It's a 3-cost 3/3 that looks at the top 4 and adds a 2-cost character or less, so you can find the docks. Honestly, you probably don't even need the Beyond the Horizons, but like again, like it's there because it's like Steel Songy. So yeah, and then also the new card, we have that new action, that new song that says you can't play actions or items because
it's like a Pete but a song.
Yeah,
but better, right?
But this is the only
no actions, right? This one's no actions and no items.
Yeah, but this is the only one I haven't tested. But I feel like it could go pretty good.
Yeah, no, this deck looks sweet.
Maybe some support for the World's Greatest Criminal Mind. Like you could take out the Beyond the Horizons and probably play 2 more of those and find some support. But again, these are just like templates. Like, this is not like we are the best deck builders in the world.
Yeah, I think it's like more to see what some of these cards do and how effective it is really to have that Singer 3 on the draw. How much does it really pull you out of the mud? I really like figuring out, is the 5-drop Stitch any good? Like should we be playing it or should we look for something different? I mean, I like to.
I do like it.
Yes, I think it's like probably a good card. And I think really the only thing that the deck's like super missing is like draw songs, and I guess the Ariel is the direction you were heading with that, so you can like draw cards from singing the songs, which is really good. Oh no, for sure. I mean, like Yeah, because it's just if a card's under her and then you sing a song, you draw a card. Yeah, so like that's pretty good. But
so that's where you can like acute, get her out, boost next turn, sing with the coup again. Hopefully,
But sweet, I love it. I think I'd love to see like a world where maybe like other like songs come up, but I think most of the songs are probably already revealed for this set.
Yeah, everything's revealed now.
Maybe you get away in this deck with playing the new Lorcana as family to draw more cards, but then you're like,
especially
with an action though, right? Like,
so, you know what I mean? Yeah, and it's like
stuff.
I just couldn't fit it, but I was thinking about it because the Mickey is like it's making everything like so beefy.
Yeah. You just they thought they were gonna take 2 turns to kill my Stitch surfboarder. Or snowboarder, but I'm gonna heal it and draw 3 cards. People have forgotten that like they used to live in a Rapunzel world where they're like, I don't want to put 3 damage on a guy. Now people put damage on things willy nilly with like even Cheshire Cat. People are can be cautious, but like they for the most part want damage on their guys. Like put damage. I'll move them with Cheshire Cat.
Yeah, I've already been
like heal
a couple times online.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can kill it in 2 turns, easy. Nope.
Or something where they have a higher evasive, and I'm like, whatever. Like, I don't care about this trade, and then they trade it, and then they enemy's family, and then I'm like, oh, they healed it and got a +3.
And there's no cap, so I feel like this is that card will really like make those Amber control matchups be like, all right, I'm gonna try to get like 7 damage on my thing. All right, draw 7. Heal my guy back up to 8 health.
Not really,
but who knows? I mean, I think that the price line of like the card is pretty high right now too. I think it's like $30 or $40. I don't think that. I think that's like obviously pre-release prices. So I don't think it's gonna actually hold there. But, I definitely think it's going to be one of the more playable legendary non-characters from this set.
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
Let's see what you got,
So next up, we've got this Amber Sapphire control deck. I think that it definitely has some play. I was a little concerned about it just because it doesn't have too much card draw, but it really reminds me of like an old school control deck I used to play a while back. So I'll kind of go through it and see what you think of it. So we got 4 Aloni and 4 Basil, so basically just 4 1 costs that have the support with 2 attack. 4 Tipo, 4 Cindy's, 2 Kitas to get some more Cindy triggers. We have Wasabi to combat what I think will be a lot more of the Amber Amethyst Lantern decks, whether they be combo or non-combo. Just to have that hate card. It's inkable, and he also becomes evasive on your turn. And in the blue-yellow deck, I feel like you have a lot less evasive. So having something to like combat the evasive stuff is good, especially with the supports. There's like games where you're probably like Basil ramp and then have the Wasabi, and then he threatens 5 attacks, so he can kill genies and stuff. I also think that the Snowboarder Stitch is probably a good contender for this deck because of the lack of card draw. I'd love to get him up to 3 or 4, but like he's tough to like fit in the deck.
You might even just want Surface Stitch in this because you're gonna ramp so much.
Yeah, that Surface Stitch. My thought was like I'm not like super. This is a pretty character light deck. There's a lot of like non-characters in this deck, so I'd probably have to lean out some of the develops and all that jazz. But we do have the new Moana. That's a new character. That's kind of where I split like 2 and 2 between her and Stitch, where I feel like she kind of is virtual card draw, because if I don't have to ink something every turn to get to my ramp, and I can just do it from my discard, that's like virtual card draw. For Hades, because it's like
Cindy too.
Oh the Cindy like effects is like virtual card draw as well while you're ramping, which is awesome. Free draws from that. And she's not a princess, right?
No, I'm saying she is a princess.
She is a princess.
Yeah, like you get that.
My thought was that like the Cindy and I could be wrong. I'd have to like reread the Cindy, but like I
Oh
can't.
no, yeah, you don't get her effect.
I can't
Like
use
you
the
get
Cine
her.
effect from the yard to then draw a card. I have to put a card
No,
from my hand to my inkwell, and then I get a card draw from
yeah,
Cine. Okay.
but you get up to that 8 ink turn faster, so you
Mm-hmm.
can board faster if you drop that.
Yeah, it's just like an extra thing to do on 5 or 4. Um, yeah, and Hades is just a good removal spell. 3 develops, pretty normal for Azurite Sea. 3 Visions of the Future. And we have 4 of Ohanamin's family. I think that there's definitely like a lot of play with the card just because it's uninkable, and there's going to be like really good combat tricks you can do with it, where you like attack with Wasabi on like a genie, and even just drawing 2 cards is probably good there, because now they have a dead genie, you have a fully healed Wasabi, and you just drew 2 cards. So I think it's pretty decent. And it's uninkable too. So like if it's bad in a certain situation, you just ink it.
Yeah.
And then same thing with the Horseman Strikes. I think it's just phenomenal removal spell in a deck that has not a lot of evasive. Draws you a card, and it's inkable. And so then I end up going on a 2 spooky site for Raging Storm Split. They're uninkables, but they're just really good cards. And I think that's
that's
sort of why like I've just like needed to have them, just as that like blow up the board. All right, now start playing some of my characters. They just seem like they're going to be great combo together. Because like Spooky Sight gets it like super early, and then like later on in the game you hit them with like, the Raging Storm. And then obviously we have World's Greatest Criminal Mind, because I think it's going to be phenomenal alongside these support 1-drops. I could even consider playing like a 3-drop or a 4-drop support character in one of these colors. I didn't see too much that like blew my mind in that realm, so I didn't end up going with them, but I could totally see playing like 1 or 2 of those. Just to get more World's Greatest Criminal, because it's like such a great removal spell.
Yeah, it's really just like you only need the character to really have 3 though with your support. So it's like, what characters, like all the good characters are really 3 anyway.
Yeah.
You know, like even in like the mirror match, you know, you boost a Hades and now you can take a Hades out.
There's also like a ton of like beefy guys coming out in this set, so I think that'll like help. Like there'll be more like Moana, you know, Snowboarder Stitch. Like they're all cards with like a decent amount of attack. So I think that Criminal Mind will already hit good things. And then same thing with Let It Go, just like a clean removal spell. And with all the removal spells in the deck, I think it makes up for having a more awkward board wipe, because you're going to have so many games where you go board wipe and then they think in their head like, oh yeah, it's going to be fine, I'm just going to play my guys. And then you just go like Hades, like Let It Go. And I think that there's like, you'll have so much ink that'll be a turn that you'll be able to play like Let It Go, Horseman Strikes, you know what I mean? Like those, that's just 8 ink, you know, you can get there pretty quickly. So like there's just gonna be those combination of turns that you follow up. Like it's not just that you're gonna Raging Storm, it's that the following turn you're gonna kill their guy, and then the following turn you're gonna kill. It's like where you blue red and like previous metas were kind of like that, where it's like, all right, be prepared or seize you to blow up the board. Now I'm going to play a dragon. Now I'm going to play Hades. Now I'm going to play a dragon. And they just like keep spot removaling you.
Yeah, I really like the deck. I do wonder like what other big cost, or like my only concern with it is there's not enough characters. So I don't know if you've seen the new Pete.
Maybe not. What color is it?
It's a Sapphire 5 cost, boost 1, and it says whenever how many cards are under it, you get to look at that many cards and pick one. So it's basically like a Visions on a body, but it's a 5/5, so it outs everything.
Is this one of the Christmas Carol ones? He's like the Ghost of Christmas.
I think so.
I
think it's a Ghost.
Yep.
Yeah. I think so. Like maybe even taking out the developments and playing something like that. But I do really like the Spooky Sight into Raging. I don't know if you can like win a game after that. You get spookied, you like put everything out, and then you get Raging Stormed.
Yeah, there's so many games that's how you would lose to Purple Steel, where they'd be like, oh yeah, okay, like get rid of my board with Spooky Slate. All right, now I can play Demona and then play Doc, and then or like one drop Doc, and then draw 2 cards, and now you're like, he's got 2 cards in hand and 4 characters. Oh, now you Raging Storm them, wipe the board. All right, now they only have 2 cards in hand. Like you could probably spot removal them out of like where they're at. But yes, I think that the deck can also fizzle out pretty badly. And I think there's also like, and it's such a crux to these blue decks where it's like, if you don't see 2-drop ramp and you mull 6-7 cards to see that 2-drop ramp, and then you see Spooky Sight, Raging Storm, other Uninkable, like Hades, you just like almost auto lose.
I have a little spoiler. I mean, everyone knows we're going to go over Amber Amethyst. But my testing, I have drawn 2 Raging Storms about 3 to 4 times in my opening. Well, like one in the opening and then like the next card that. And Amethyst has so much draw that I can actually make it work, and I've actually won those games when they're not like insane aggro, right? Like,
yeah, of course.
As long as they're like kind of like the same tempo as me, I can actually win those games.
You ignore the dead card, bad.
It's going to be even better with you though, because you can ramp. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not ramping. I'm new taking it one time on the turn.
It's like Ruby Amethyst, where it's like, yep, we play Be Prepared on turn 7, fair, not on turn 5.
Oh, it is.
So
yeah, it's just more like if you go 8, you go 9, you really like. I think you really got to think about that 9 slot, right? Like, what can you play on 9? It's probably like a Let It Go. Or like you said, like the Let It Go and the Horseman Strikes is nice, or like a 4-drop and a 5-drop.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's also like it'll be those cheeky times where it's like, all right, play a guy with 5 attack, like a big guy like Demona, and then play another guy, and it's like, all right, then I'll let it go your small guy, and then I'll criminal mind your big guy, even though the cost of the like you would think in your head like, oh, the big guy has to get hit with the big removal spell. Small guys get the small removal spell. It's actually like worse than that. But you kill 2 guys, 2 removal spells. Like you 2-for-2 them, and like that. This deck just feels like very. I'm gonna 1-for-1 you to death until I can wrath you, and then like 5-for-1 you, and then now my 1-for-1 seems so much better because I 5-for-1 you 2 turns ago.
Yeah,
like you're already down 5, so like the tempo. But,
yeah, I think it could be good. I think I might struggle with the evasives, depending on how your hand goes and like, because there are so many evasives. But I'm excited to see it and play against it.
Heck yeah! So up next, I have your Sapphire Ruby list that you made.
Yes, and this is a big test again.
Spicy.
Just sort of like what you said, I wanted to test some cards out. I don't think necessarily this is the best build, but we're going off with 4 Tipo, obvious, 3 Sisu, because I have the coil in there, so I think that -think strength, you actually kind of want to get it on 2. In some matchups, Cindy, obvious, the Horseman, I put 3 of the Tinkerbell, because, again, I've been playing with the Willow. I know people are loving the Willow, so you need to out the Willow as soon as possible. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to fit the 1-drop in, and really, you probably cut the Wreck-It Ralph and the new item, but like I had to put it in there. So you
gotta try it.
I have to try it. I put the 3 Moana as well. Probably don't have to play Moana in this deck, but I have the Pete that I was talking about. I put the new Maui Copper in there just as a 2-of because you can trade. I put Maui in here. There's not too many actions, but there's enough that I think make it justifiable. And we have the
Spooky. It's just so good.
I mean, and I'm only running 1 of the 5-cost songs, so the new one that banishes 2 characters with 2 strength or less. So I think like getting that in here would be nice. We have the 2 Wreck-It Ralph, and I put it with this new item called Lonely Grave, which I saw on some channel, which, sorry, I don't remember. But thank you for that idea. And it basically says that you can banish like your character and then boost one of your own characters. Which I was having the Tamatoa in here to boost, but I was like, I think I'm just going to use the Pete. I have yet to use that Wreck-It Ralph combo on a game, but it's alright. And then obviously for Hades. I also could not fit Dragon in the deck. Again, it's probably going to be a clunky deck. You probably maybe even cut Moana and just play Dragon. But then the basic, develop your brand. Is it really going to be that good?
You just have the ramp, and then if your opponent plays blue and they Hades you at any point, Dragon just becomes so good.
Yeah. So it's I feel like you have to run the Dragon. I also am testing 4 of the new song that draws 2. I don't know how good it's going to be.
Yeah.
But you have a lot of beefy characters, and especially if you're ramping, you can probably get the 4-cost Cindy and then Copper next turn. So you can almost always get that draw. Which seems good. 2 Let It Go. I didn't want to run 4 because I didn't think it was too much crazy. 2 of the new item, and then 2 Ink Runner, just because you have a lot of spot removal and you have the Maui Shark, but Ink Runner is just good for card drawing, getting rid of the alerts.
Yeah, giving alert to Moana, or giving alert to a character after you just exerted something with Tinkerbell, because she's 2 attack or less.
Yeah, 2 strength or less.
Yeah, so you exert a genie, and then you give something alert, attack it.
Yeah. I mean, I've lost many games to it, which I didn't last set. So it definitely has legs now, and it's nothing to look at. The only thing is the Sisu really that good? You have to obviously get Coil out, but there are so many things that Cinderella now, especially ramps you and uninkable. You can probably justify it.
Yeah, Tipo too. It's awkward in your hand. All right, Tipo it.
Yeah.
Or I could get this.
It's you could really probably cut one of those, cut the Wreck-It Ralphs, and you could add in the Maleficent Dragons too. And they're probably there. So, yeah.
Heck yeah. I like it.
Thanks.
All right. Let's see.
We go back to Old Faithful.
So this one is no combo. Your Amber Amethyst deck that I think we've referenced a little bit, but I think you can take it from here. Kind of go over all the cards.
Yeah. So this has been my favorite deck to test so far. I love it. And actually, now that this is so random, but I remember that I was going to tell you in the dogs deck, if you wanted to make it more character focused, was that new Bambi. It's a 4-cost. Boost 1 or 2, I forget off the top of my head, with a quest for 1, and you can look at the top 4 and I think add any character or add as many characters as you see, something like that. I forgot it, but it's been really kicking my butt. It doesn't matter because OBS.
Is it in here?
No, but I just looked at it and it's I just thought of it. But yeah, this no combo I've been having the most fun with. So we got 3 Rafiki, 4 Royal Guard. I am a little scared of aggro, but whatever. 4 Akut with the song for that combo. Genie's on 2, Elsa's on 3. We have the Willow. I got 3 Mowgli. I think 4 is too much, so that's fine. 4 Cat. Only 3 Dumbo because the deck. Okay, so you're looking at a deck right now. I think it has 17 uninkables. That is a lot. So I'm probably going to change that. But it's really hard if you want to run the song package and the board wipe. That's already 7, And that's without Hades. So it's you almost have to, and then without Genie. And it's I cannot not play Genie. Anyway, Genie. 2 of the Tigger I was talking about because I think the card is just awesome. 4 Elsa. 2 of the Ursula with Evasive, 2 of the Pumbaa, which again, I'm 17 on Inkables and I'm running 2 Pumbaa. I probably cut them, right? But the other thing is, do you cut the song package? In testing, sometimes it's so good, and then sometimes it's Oh my god! I just threw 3 of these songs in a row, and
Mm-hmm.
I have Mowgli and the tree out. You know what I mean? And it's like play, ink, pass. I'm like, so I'm still like on the fence about that. But 3 Demona, I still think Demona's like a really good card. This set.
Oh yeah, she's so good.
I do miss the Hades. I have to say, like I was like testing without it, and I really do miss it. It's card draw, and it makes them think. You know what I mean? Sometimes
It
you're
makes
like,
them make a mistake. Yeah.
yeah,
Also,
it's like there's no way they're gonna give
hopefully
you
you
the
make a mistake. Like it's
yeah,
not my choice.
exactly. And so that's why I'm like, I think I need that again. But 2 Silver Stitch, which has been really fun. The only thing I don't like about Silver Stitch with this is like if you play the board wipe, it feels really weird to go like 7 Silver Stitch, draw 2, have like a really nice board, and then like clear it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's like it's circumstantial. Like you have so much draw, especially because you're into the item that draws 2. But usually you can just hold the board wipe until like
Yeah, if you have a better board than them, you just don't cast the board wipe.
yeah. And I've been kind of like liking them just making really bad trades, or like thinking they have really good trades and not questing actually, and then board wipe and then drop them like Genie Dumbo or something. And then the One Circle of Life. This card has been incredible. Ever since I played this card and the deck that I can get up to that, most of the time just putting back, like playing it, getting Demona back when they had no idea it was like coming back, I think actually if you look in our gameplay video, like I did that play where it's like bring back Demona, and it's like it's just so annoying. It's like
it's
especially after the board wipe.
Absolutely backbreaking, especially because if it's in the yard, it's probably that you played Demona, got some sort of value off the attacks of exerting everything, drew possibly at least 1 to 3 cards, and then it got killed, so I probably lost something to attacking the Demona to kill it,
Yeah.
And then you brought it back, and so I think that just like, there aren't a lot, I think this is the only effect in Lorcana that's like straight up bring it from the discard back to the battlefield directly. And it's like showcases the power of it, because there's been other games that have made this a 1-ink. Like the best equivalent I can say to viewers is that there are uninkable 1 cost cards in other card games that just say Circle of Life.
Yeah.
And so like, just think about the shenanigans that you could do in this game if you had that. You could just turn 1 Mulan, discard a Surfer Stitch, turn 2, bring it back. Like, it's just absolutely nuts.
Yeah, that sounds insane.
So at least it's an 8 cost in this game, so it seems a little bit more balanced.
Or even like the Dumbos and Genies, bringing them back after like they fought so hard to get rid of them. I mean, I really like that.
Clearly struggling against the Genie, and they can't get rid of it. They finally draw their like 1 or 2 outs to it, and then you go, okay, bring it back.
Yep. And singing with it too, like when they don't have a board, is kind of nice. But yeah, so far I like it, and I think it's about a 75, 72, 75% where I'm like really enjoying. Not enjoying, but like think it's like the list. Obviously it's hard to say when there's no meta. Of course. But like some quick notes is like I kind of want Monstro in there, like just to have
as a removal spell or board wipe-esque card.
It's also too like I was thinking like if you just run 1 or 2, like they never know if you actually have.
Yeah, are you combo or are you not?
Like you know what I mean? Like there are games when I don't just draw We Know the Way, so it's like it kind of messes with them. Mm-hmm. And then I think the last note is like, I think Library is actually good. Mm-hmm. And like again, it's like you take out the singer and that singer song, you get 8 slots. Like that's a lot of slots to put into a deck. The singer and Coot and Cootie, so like my quick thing was like 2 Lantern because you have to at least replace some of like the ramp with it, so you have 6 cards to like add in if you take that package out, which is a lot. But yeah, that's non-combo.
Hell yeah, love it.
You just want to go to combo because it's basically the same thing.
Yeah. Let's Right. Got the combo deck pulled up. All right.
Yeah. So combo, we're not going to go too crazy because it's very much the same deck. We have an extra 1-drop because with OTK, you really want to actually contest the board and make them keep trading and actually having this value attack. I put another Mowgli in there too because I think it's just good to have. I am testing the one of Sven. I want to play more of it, but there's so many uninkables. Like I said, I just can't justify playing it. You know what I mean? I'm calling it now.
It's tough to fit in your deck.
Well, yeah, and I'm calling it now. There's going to be some list that probably tops where everyone's playing Genie, and the one guy just says, "Nope, I'm going to play that Sven," and they're going to top because they're playing.
Yeah. I'm not playing Genie anymore. I'm just playing Sven.
Yeah, and then they're gonna metagame it. I already see it. I see it's happening. But I have the Tigger here. I also have the Stitch because I think combo you just want the card draw. So I'll take again answer this. Oh, you can't answer it.
Like the Mono, you're building back up your hand.
Yeah, and then really the combo piece is just the chicken, for Monstro, and for the location. Which again, the location was sick. I was running 2 of the board wipe. It was just too much. I couldn't run 2 in this. But when you board wipe and you drop 3 of those things, woo! It's really nice when you drop 3 of them and you drop the draw 2 item.
You just build back up your hand.
And you just say, okay, I'm going to draw next turn, and I'm going to do that. So, yeah, if people are interested in the OTK deck, this is my version. I did test it with the song. With that song package, but just couldn't justify it. But maybe I'm just not seeing it, and maybe you can drop Monster on 5 and it doesn't die to anything. But I don't know.
Yeah,
my brain hasn't got to that level yet.
No, it looks pretty sweet. I like it.
Cool.
All right. Let's see. I believe. No, that's back to the non-combo. Alright. Up next is one of the Ruby Amethyst decks that I've been kind of trying to mess around with. So I went a little bit more of the damage moving effects. So I kind of honed in on that, even though there are obviously really cool effects that come in Ruby Amethyst now with some of the other new cards. First we got 4 of the fob, or it's the little bird. He's a 1-drop inkable 1/2. He quests for 1, and then he also moves 1 damage. So I think that's just gonna be another 1-drop that it stinks to play a 1-drop that you can't play on turn 1, but the way I try to look at it is that it's a 1-drop that you can play after turn 1, and it's not bad. And then we're on 2 Palace Guard, 4 Mulan, just so that we have that full 10 1-drops. The Mulan for the damage removal. I've got 4 of the Fazul, and 4 Slushy, I think is that one. But he's the red the Ruby Underdog. That's the 4/2 Reckless. Those are the 2-drops. I was going a little bit heavier on the 1-drops to justify really only having 4 true 2-drops and then 4 pseudo 2-drops that are sometimes 1-drops on the draw. It's because Fuzzle's another thing you can play with damage on it to help get that Cheshire Cat to be valuable. So I'm on Cheshire Cat and Mother Gothel, just to really hone in on the moving damage effects. I was able to fit 3 Dumbo. We trimmed down on Dumbo just because of the vast amount of 4-drops that I have in the deck. So I'm on 4 Genie and 4 Sven, because I think that's actually where to be. I think that if you can justify that uninkable in your deck, then have the 4 Sven and the 4 Genie, because I think that you're going to come down to so many battles. Along with 2 of the, I believe it's the Slushy, the 5/5 evasive, and I think that card's just absolutely nuts. All my 4-drops are uninkable, but that's the thing where I kind of trimmed on the Dumbos, because it's I think that one of these uninkable 4-drops is going to end up being my 4-drop anyway. I'm going to have to ink my other 4-drop that's inkable and then play this as a 4-drop. Slushy's just so good. He's gonna get some great like attacks on evasive guys that I'm gonna tap down with Elsa, or I'm gonna attack something with evasive, or not something even with not evasive, and then I'm gonna play a bell to move damage. So I think the bell and the Cheshire Cat and the Mother Gothel will help me move damage off all these evasive guys. And then I ended up putting in 3 of the Marshmallow, because I think there's going to be a lot of situations where, like, similar to Demona, if all your stuff's exerted, then I can get a better attack, so I can move the damage more effectively. So you not being able to unexert your characters at the beginning of your turn is going to be so hurtful, knowing that I'm going to move damage with Cheshire Cat next turn. You're going to be very careful on what you move. And same with Demona. Like, it works so beautifully with Demona. If you go turn 5 Marshmallow, turn 6 Demona, you just, like, lock so many decks out of the game. 2 of the 6-drop Coppers. I feel like he's going to be a sweet card. I have 3 of the Shift Mulan, just because I feel like it's a great, like, shift effect, but also, you know, when you just play it and then you challenge stuff, you're going to be able to move damage and also like put damage on stuff. So I think there's going to be a lot of situations where you like, even if you just play Mulan on 6, you know, you can attack something, do 2 damage to the character you attack, 2 damage to the 2 other guys, and then you could like boost on the Cheshire Cat, the guy off. You know, there's like cheeky stuff you can totally do.
Yeah, that's like a really cool deck, dude.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it like does work, because I mean, I think it was higher on Uninkables. Let me do a quick count. I don't think it was too crazy, but 8 from the Sven and the Genie, 10 from the Slushy, and then 13 from the Marshmallow. So only 13 Uninkables, but like they're all 4 drops mostly.
Yeah,
Marshmallow.
I would even think about doing like 3 Sven, and you can go to like the 4th Dumbo. Like, you're not going to need that many. I also, you know, thinking is the Madame Medusa, the one that does 2 damage,
and bounces a 2 cost thing. I have that in there.
The real man, like, that could actually be huge. Like, it is uninkable, but
no, that Madame Medusa is inkable. She's
it is.
3 cost 3. She's a 3 cost 3/3 too. I think that's what I really like. But she's also Ruby Amethyst, like dual colored card. So I think that's some weird stuff can happen with the deck. Because like I also wanted to try to play one of the Hades, the Ruby Amethyst Hades cards. That's been like a pet card of mine since it came out. But being able to just deal 2 damage to something, possibly get an advantage off it, because I'm going to move the damage of the Cheshire Cat and blow up a 3-drop of yours. Yeah. It's good, but like I could, with all the like the Slushies, the Svens, the Genies, I could justify a 6 cost uninkable that wasn't a new card to even test. So like. It eventually might make it in the deck if the damage seems to be, but I think Ruby Amethyst, there's probably a more traditional version of it with like Lumières and like the Headless Horseman, and like it takes some more of the traditional Ruby Amethyst approach, but I think the damage move is probably super good too, because we have like a bunch of tools to like use it for. So hopefully we'll be able to get you guys some of these decks tested on the next gameplay that we got going on.
Especially if aggro is like, if dogs are a huge deck, like this deck destroys this.
Moving there's so many decks with my Ruby Amethyst move damage where dogs were just like, all right, I'm just gonna scoop. Same thing with Amber Steel like decks too. They just like immediately crumble.
Especially if you play that Madame Medusa, bro. Like, it's just
when you play that card, they're like, why are you playing this like uncommon card that destroys me but is so bad in so many matchups? What's wrong with you? Why do you hate me? When you play against Control and they're like, thank you for playing this card. This made you an easy target for me and my shenanigans. Alright, so I think up next is your deck, Mark. It's called the Bad Deck.
Yeah, we got 2 more decks for you guys. Another Amber deck, but we're adding a Ruby. And I like to put Bad Deck as whenever I'm testing a deck, because it's just like, this is probably a bad idea, and I'm probably wasting my time testing it. But it's also like, they got so many tools this set, these colors, and it's been really fun to test. So
they'll write them off immediately.
Yeah. So I basically tried to make the best version of this deck I could, and this is what I think it is. So 4 Rhino and 4 Mulan. I like the Rhino because you're kind of going with the minus strength with this deck. Trying to get the Headless Horseman and the song completed as much as possible. I have the Mowgli and I have the Pudge that you can heal and pay less for. I couldn't put the will on this because again, too many uninkables in my deck. Two of the new guy who has 2 damage, Rajul. He comes in with 2 damage, so it's all right. I put in the evasive and sweets because this deck can struggle with evasive, even if it has the horseman strikes. You just want to have more than less. I have John in here, the 5/5 that takes a damage. That can get really scary when you get double of them, and you're like, okay, I either have Ohana and I'm gonna draw a bunch of cards, or I'm not. I only have 2 of the Minnie Mouse Bodyguard because sometimes it's really bad against Sisu blue decks or another Ruby deck that just Headless Horseman's it. But against purple, it is insane because they have to do a lot to get rid of it in purple. 4 of the new Moana and 2 of the Slushy because I just again the uninkables were too much for me. And it can also it also increases strength for Mulan, which I only have 1 Mulan, but shift Mulan, but it can come up.
And Von Sweet too, right? It's only a 3/1 with evasive, but if you boost it for 3 attack, I think it is.
Yeah.
Then it's it attacks for 6, kills every evasive. That matters.
Yeah. That's a good point. I have the new Stitch because this deck is pretty easy. You have a lot of low cost stuff to just get 2 things out. For the Headless Horseman because I like the body more than the song, and 4 and 4 was kind of too much. 2 copper just in case you get out of bad situations. I have 2 Stitch because you need card draw. Ohana with the card draw. You have Headless Horseman with card draw. This deck used to have no card draw, and this is why it was awful. Now it has so much card draw. It's awesome. The Della's Moon card draw. I think even the Lost in the Woods says draw a card. Almost all of your songs say draw a card, or actions say draw a card, and then Headless Horseman. This is really fun, and what I really like is that this deck is actually probably going to win the set champs. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't think it's going to win a DLC. I think there's too much variance and it doesn't have enough power yet.
Yeah, there aren't enough raw power cards.
There is 1 or 2 cards missing. Or I'm not seeing the 1 or 2 cards already out that could possibly break this. But this deck so far has been really fun. And you can play more of a tempo version too if you don't want to play all the minus stuff. I just personally like the minus, and you're probably saying if you're running the Lost in the Woods, why am I not running Vanessa? I don't know. I probably should be running Vanessa. But I wanted the Van Sweets instead of Vanessa, really, because I'm just too scared of evasives, and I lost too many times to evasive.
I could totally see a deck where you go a more control version of this with the new board wipes too, and you have that card draw, but you also lean into maybe something the just healing, but even you have the healing and the damage on your guys, but then you're also just drawing extra cards and okay, Wrath, and then when you get to the point where you're gonna Raging Storm, you've already drawn a bunch of cards off your guys that already had damage on them, and then
you know what I just thought of for your Sapphire Amber deck is that you should put a Grandpappy in there.
Yeah, with
if you heal with Grandpappy, that is the most value you might be able to get in a Lorcana card.
Yeah, you heal so much.
Because it's for each as well.
Yeah, so it heals damage 1 at a time, though.
I don't know, actually. I don't know. That is interesting.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. Maybe that sounds like it's too good to be true, but I could be wrong. Sometimes. But
even gaining
as good as they seem.
It's up to 2, so I think if you did 4, you gain 4 lore. I think. Maybe you just gain 2. I don't know. Comment down below. We don't know.
Yeah, somebody enlighten us.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think of it? Do you like the list?
I think it's awesome. I think that really the only thing that I'm not super sold on in the deck is the Lost in the Woods, just because so is the last Ruby song the one that banishes 2 characters with 2 attack or less?
Yeah.
Okay. So I see the justification for it a little bit more because like between the headless horseman and that, I think that you can like get some really cheeky attacks. I could totally see you also playing the new Simba too, the 2-cost one that gives the -2,
Yeah, I
basically like
almost
Stella's
did.
Lullaby. But then again, like you'd have to probably cut the sandwich expert or something, or
Yeah.
like the Vanellope, which you struggle with, and evasives. So
I really just
other than
wanted the
that,
card
I
the
think
songs,
yeah.
you know. And like my thought was like if I'm running the 4-cost evasives, like all of the evasives in the format don't want to trade up to them
Mm-hmm.
because they're so strong. So like kind of lets me sing it. And it's to the next turn, so it's like something like Mulan actually might be able to quest. Or like the
Yeah.
Mowgli might be able to quest.
You get some
Because you
huge
can make
value attack where you're not like dealing damage to your Mulan. You're just like attacking the thing, dealing the extra damage, and also not taking damage yourself.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So
Sweet.
yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah. No. And then I think we're on to the final deck,
Yes.
which is
I
another
love
deck by Mark, and it is a Amethyst, uh, Emerald deck.
Yeah.
Boost the
And
boosts.
mostly boost.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to go too crazy because um I think if you go like too much on boost, it kind of like is not that good. But yeah, I've been messing around since we got all of the boost genie, um, and and the boost Donald that gives like those boosts. Whenever you boost, you put another card underneath it, and then you draw a card if it gets taken out. Ever since that, I started building this, and we got 4 Olaf, 4 Rafiki, 2 Royal Guard. Um, and this is really mid range. And then the Olaf's are in there obviously because of the boost. So like anything that's boosted is gonna have more cards underneath it. So you get to draw more. If they take out that Olaf. I also wanted the Royal Guard in here because I put 4 of the draw 2 item because I just love that card. I think it's so good. 2 Iago, and I actually am playing 3 of the new Pocahontas because you can give lore from the boosted genie. So that genie can be at like 4 lore, and then you can quest and then gain the lore from the genie, which I thought is really cool. 3 of Ursula because I think songs, especially with the the underdog singer, you can still go Ursula and take their 3-cost song out, and then they just have a 2-cost singer 3 that probably is not going to sing anything else in the game.
Ohana means family is in action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then I put 3 of the underdog, 2-cost. 1 cost because underdog, but
Yeah.
2 evasive. I thought it was pretty good. I was thinking like Christopher Robin maybe instead, but I think I like the evasive better. 4 cat, 3 of the new genie, 4 old genie. This deck finally though I could play 3 Sven and 2 Tigger, which I think is awesome. And even bouncing like your Olaf, I was like, wait, I can bounce my Olaf with the Tigger. So I can bounce Olaf and then trigger Olaf and then bounce my boosted genie, and get even more cards. It's like, that might be too much of
Especially with the Donald too. It's like you can just do some pretty
yeah,
insane things.
exactly. And there's just so many 4 drops in this deck, but 4. I think 4 of the Donald is right. I was like 4 or 3. It's kind of hard, but you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 boost characters, right? Because I think that the mini isn't a boost; it just gives boosts. So
yeah.
4, 5, 6. You only have 7 boost characters, but
yeah, you have multiples of them, right?
I was trying Flynn, but it's just like too underwhelming. Anyway, Elsa and the 5-cost Hades, and they also put in the 5-cost Chernavog, which I actually think this card is really good, even in the dogs deck, because a lot of the time there's no characters out in the grave by turn 5, especially if you're not turning sideways and they're not Elsaing.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be no characters in the banish zone. So
if you actively choose to not banish their characters, there won't be unless they're purposely like sacking their own guys.
Yeah, and then I was even thinking.
I'm kind of the only reason I'm scared of this card is that there's a lot of Mulan, Bobby Schmertsky and like other discard effects that people do, and sometimes they'll put in a good character.
Yeah, that is true, and you gotta watch out for that, but hopefully not.
Yeah, you can play around it most of the time.
And then I have the item. Oh no, and then I have this mini which has ward 3/4, and I think when you play her, you can boost a card, and if you did, then you get to draw a card.
Is it boost a card, or is it just put a card under a card?
When you play this character, you may put the top card of your deck face down under one of your characters or locations with boost.
Gotcha. So you can boost regularly and boost her, or use her to effectively boost.
Yeah, and you get to draw.
And you draw, and then you also get to boost again.
Yeah. So, you probably should run more boost, honestly, with that many, but,
is that 6-drop?
5.
5. Okay. And she's uninkable? Or she's inkable?
No, she's inkable. She's inkable. And ward.
Yeah, that's pretty good. She could just sit there.
Yeah, exactly. This deck, I played a few games with it. It's hard to wrap your brain around because it's so different. You know what I mean? You have to think of the game completely different. Resource managey, So it's really weird. And then I have 3 of this Snow Fort item that I think is pretty good. Everything gains a strength and they gain resist 1 during your turn. It's decent. It hasn't come up crazy in testing. The other option is cutting that and playing Mother's Know Best. So when you Chernabog, you can go Chernabog, sling Mother's Know Best. So you kind of out 2 things and gain the board back. But yeah, that's the boost deck. There is definitely other things that you could do for boost, but this is sort of the tempo-y boost that I think is a good shell.
Yeah, no, I think that the boost variant of Amethyst Emerald is probably the direction it'll head, just because you already want to play these good boost cards like Cat, and I think that being able to bounce stuff back to your hand is going to become super clutch. The Donald is going to push things further in that direction. I'm sure you could make a good Emerald Amethyst deck that didn't have boost in it, but I think there's just so many good boost cards that you might as well go along with it. We're already here for the ride. We might as well go for the boost ride. And just kind of get that extra value from the cards, kind of where it's headed for the deck.
But yeah, those are all of our deck lists. Let us know if you comment down below your Dreamborn link. We'd love to review your deck lists also on the channel. If you put them down here.
Absolutely, and maybe let us know what you thought your favorite deck by Mark and favorite deck by myself was down below too. Feel free to give us a like, and then we'll also probably end up playing whatever is the most talked about 2 decks on our next gameplay video. We're going to be playing a lot of these decks, maybe slight variations of those decks if we decide on a new card that we want to test out. But I think we're gonna for the most part be playing some of these decks on our next gameplay. So feel free to check us out, please. And let us know what you think of the deck list too. If you think we totally missed a new card that you super wanted to see in one of these colors, please let us know, and we'll try to make it happen.
Yeah, the crazy thing is about this beginning meta is literally everyone's already playing Willow Hate. People could just go back to Lantern. You know what I mean? It really is the same thing. It's not because it's the body and it gives dogs that extra character. You know what I mean? But really, in the decks that are we're already playing Lantern, you kind of just go back to Lantern and you don't have to worry about Fire the Cannons. And now Fire the Cannons is such a dead card in this person's hand because you're playing Demonis and stuff. So it's these lists you might see them now, and this comes out in a week. So the list might just be what the heck were they thinking?
This is insane. There was a new card revealed 2 days ago. That's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, or even
they didn't put in any of their decks. I'm sorry, folks, but that card did not exist yet when we talked about this. But because I think there are a few cards that have still not been revealed as of the making of it.
I think all of them have been revealed.
All of them are revealed? Okay, all right. So then
it's more just
what because we didn't look at it hard enough.
Or even, we can kind of slide into the next thing. I don't know if you saw today, Zach, about some of the rule changes in Lorcana.
I did not. What? Please enlighten me.
So I'll give you a few. One of them came out about a week ago, and it's about draft.
Okay.
Your draft deck is now minimum 35 cards.
Minimum 35 cards, you say?
35, yes.
This puts a lot more skill, I think, in.
And their reasoning for this was because most of the time, the 4 cards you're not going to put in your deck, because, you take 8 cards out, were given to you, passed down. Uh-huh. So they think that it gives a little bit more, options if you don't have to. So that would be really interesting. I'm excited to see what that means. I mean, I love draft, so I think it just makes it better, right?
Yeah, I think that
5 cards is a lot. With a 7-card mulligan is ridiculous.
So I try to think of it in terms of Magic the Gathering. In Magic, you get 3 packs of 15 cards, and so you end up with 45 cards at the end. Mm-hmm. And only 3 of those cards, since you only have 3 packs instead of 4 packs, Lorcana has less cards per pack than Magic by 3 cards. So, but in Magic you also have lands, and you get those for free. Usually you're putting about 25% plus in your deck of lands. So really you're only playing maybe 30-ish of those 45 cards. So you get to cut 15 cards from your pool of cards that you picked. So you get to lean your deck out a lot more. With this, I think it lets you lean your deck out a little bit more to you have more density of the good cards. You kind of get stuck in this thing where you're more taking out the 8 worst cards and leaving in the other 8 the other cards for 40 cards, and you get stuck in these bad situations. I think it's a little less it's a little more skill oriented in that regard. You'll be able to lean out your deck to be more effective and more efficient.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah, really cool change. And save more sleeves.
Yeah, no, and I think that it'll also be that weird techness where it's all right, so then do I actually play 37 cards? I think it's reasonable. I want all 37 of these. These are all 37 good cards.
It could be because some locals let you side deck for your draft. I don't know, so if that's allowed in the rules. But you could now.
From my understanding, in sealed, you're allowed to change your deck in between games and matches.
Yeah, so I mean, you could now take hypothetically, maybe more of a one-off because you don't have to play in every single game. So that's cool. The other crazy rule, which please let me know if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this was right in the chat, is now. So before, it's your turn, Zach. Right? You play. And I have 0 cards in my deck. You pass the turn. I would lose the game. Not anymore in Lorcana. You do not have to have a deck now to draw. You can still win that turn. But if you end your turn and you do not win without a card to draw,
I see.
You will lose.
So it's not against the rules to draw a card. And I could be wrong, because I have had more experience playing it with Magic than Lorcana. In Magic, if you draw a card and there's no more cards left in your deck, you lose the game, even if it's on your opponent's turn. So say you have no cards in your deck, and then your opponent plays a card that says target player draws a card, they could make you lose on their turn.
Yeah. So that is different in Lorcana now.
Yeah, so I guess the Jafar combo doesn't work anymore in that regard.
To deck out now. Also, Demona, I literally had a game today where I demoted someone for game. And that would have not actually been the game. So I think it's interesting. I didn't read too much into the rules and why that is. I guess the other interesting thing, the last one, is with the Willow card.
Mm-hmm.
It is not an activated effect. It just happens. So whenever you play the next character, you just pay one less.
Oh,
so you can't.
So you can't choose to play it second.
No, you cannot do something like, I'm going to actually play Genie for 4, draw the card, and see if I can maybe draw like a 1-drop to activate the effect, and then play. You know,
that seems so much worse than what I initially anticipated it being. I guess it doesn't really matter for dogs. I guess
it doesn't. I don't think it matters.
I can play the 1-drop so that way my tramp costs 1 less, and then use the 1 reduction on the tramp. But it doesn't like apples. Like it's just 1 extra ink and not, like, super.
No.
I think the order in which it happens doesn't really matter too much.
I guess like it would matter. I don't know. Like if they ever put like, oh, this character can negate this character's effect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like then maybe it would matter, but I don't know. But yeah, those are some cool rule updates for you.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I love the first one. 35 cards is awesome for draft. The draw, the not having a deck to draw from, but still winning the game. I don't know. It feels weird, but I guess Lorcana is a space where they don't want people to lose because of super feels bad moment. So it's like if they have no cards in their deck and they're still able to beat me, I don't want them to lose because they ran out of cards in their deck. To be honest, because there's not as much mill like as a strategy in Lorcana. So like I could totally see them not really wanting people to lose because they ran out of cards. They want them to lose because they didn't have enough to win that turn anyway. And so I'm sure it, like, created a huge feels bad moment where they're like, I had lethal on the board, I just didn't have any cards left in my deck because my opponent made me draw cards off at the moment.
Exactly.
I played around like having enough cards to beat him out in 2 turns, but because they demoted me to draw me extra cards, forced me to draw extra cards, now I'm going to lose. This is like I have lethal on board. So I think it's trying to do that.
Yeah. And dude, with the testing though, 3 games. I mean, I don't know how many games I played. You know what I mean? But in the last set, I'll tell you, maybe 1 game went to deck out. 3 games already I played that we both 6 cards left in our deck. So I think that's why, honestly, because
they're trying to have the. I think in the perfect world for R&D for Ravensburger, they want games to be more turns than normal in a normal card. Like they don't ever want it. Like I think Infinity will be the closest thing to these like formats where it's like, yeah, the game's over in 3 turns every single game, and it's like that's no fun for really anybody if we're playing 9 turns in a whole match. But then there's also like sometimes where it's like not fun anymore too, where it's like we're gonna go to game 1s now. Like, hope you roll better than me because this one game is gonna take us the entire match.
I mean, it'd be interesting if like 60-70% of games like went to the last 5 cards and it was a best of 1. I would like it. I actually wouldn't mind it, but if best of 1s and we're still only going through 40, even 35 cards, you know, it doesn't seem as fun. But I don't know.
If you really have formats where like things are also like just everybody's always going to like their last couple cards, you'll also see like people like randomly playing like 63 cards, 65 cards, 62 cards just to get that little extra edge so they don't die to that Demona off the top on the last turn, you know. But that also might be people playing more of the cards that like put cards from your discard back in your deck too, just to like last longer. But we'll really have to see. I think it also could be just people fumbling with their decks, like they don't know what the new cards do, and they're worried about their opponent's new cards, so they're like playing out longer games than they need. They're not questing appropriately. So like we're like, I don't even know what to do. Pass the turn, and then eventually gets to the point where no player has a deck anymore, and somebody has to start doing something.
I just want this Ruben to resolve. I will never quest.
Yeah. I need to hit my Ohana, so I'm never gonna quest with that guy because he's gonna kill him. I'm just gonna get damaged enough where I eventually attack something, and then I get to draw 3 cards.
That is such a card game thing. Like, yay, I did it.
I drew 3 cards. Oh, I have 4 cards left. Dang. But yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. I love the rule changes. Actually, I think the last one's like not super relevant. Like I guess technically it's relevant, but like the first two I think are going to be good impacts to the game.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. What happens, but yeah. And our next segment, we didn't have too much to say about a hero of the week, but we kind of both agreed that the Grandmother Willow was the hero of the week. So many, chats I've seen with like just disgusting dog boards with, especially Rockstar Stitch, just destroying it. So that might have also been a new rule that like you couldn't use the minus to shift or something, but I don't think that was true. I think it was more of like you couldn't use like a graveyard effect like to shift onto something.
Oh, okay.
Or like you couldn't like bring it back or like play it for free and shift on it. Like it has to just be.
I think it's a good card because it's also making some of the control decks scared. Because it's like, I think that was said a few times where like people are like, well, if Sapphire's just going to ramp and be at 7 ink and I'm going to be at 4 ink, why don't I just play Sapphire? And so like I think they're trying to give a little bit of that like speed to also Amber, kind of give it its like own legs and like kind of let it.
I mean, you also like know
decks,
it's a good card when it's going to be played in an aggro decks, mid range, in control. Like that's when you know a card is busted.
I mean it's like Genie, It's not that it's like a mid-range aggro or control card. It's just an Amethyst card, and people just play it in Amethyst decks. That's it. Like, and some people would even say that's bad, because it's like Cat. It's like every Amethyst deck plays Cat because it's just one of the best 3-drops to play.
Yeah, you have a couple. It sucks when the whole deck becomes.
These are the auto 45 cards. Yeah. All right, what are the 15 cards that I'm going to spice it up with?
Yeah. Exactly. And I guess the last thing I wanted to say is shout out the Artifacts podcast. I'm so happy that they're back. And, we're doing the podcast because of a lot of the podcasts I listen to. And I just love listening to Lorcana, especially on my long commute. So it's just good to get, even if you can't get any games in, listening to these things can spark something like, holy crap, I didn't know that the Minnie Mouse, I didn't even know the Minnie Mouse was a card until I went through all the cards, and I was like, wow, that actually, I didn't put it in the original boost deck.
It seems good. It seems good.
Yeah, and it's like somebody talks about it on a podcast, or in like a video, and it's like, okay. So, yeah.
Heck yeah. Congrats to them. I hope they keep at it, and I think that, in general, just being able to have other content out there to be inspired by, I mean, a big one is like the Lorecast and then Artifacts, like there's the Goons, everybody's really inspirational in the regard that they all do it with a incredible amount of passion, and I think it's quite impressive to see people contribute so much to the Lorcana, and it makes me want to contribute more too.
The Goons came out with some awesome deck lists in their video they came out with on Monday. It was really cool. They came out with a really cool Sapphire Steel items list that I thought was pretty interesting. It was with the Oswald back.
Yes, I was about to say Sapphire Steel also almost seems like it's good because like you still have 6 cost on Matoa, Oswald. You got a ton of good Sapphire Steels. I think it just had its moment where it was absolutely disgustingly busted, and it was 90% of the meta, and then it kind of got the second ban ever. I guess the first ban ever, because Bucky wasn't really a ban, but ban. Yeah. And it was absolutely brutal to play in that meta. Oh my goodness. But I think that's why people like kind of were like, but like you also have Scrooge, you have Sapphire Coils, you have the thing that gives alert, you have a ton of great items in blue. So
the new item that just stuns a character.
There's also the one, it's like the Tiny Tim's cane.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's good or not, but like it's just another item that could possibly do stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, shout out all those guys, and we're excited to show you gameplay in the next.
Hopefully these decks perform.
Yeah. Anything else before we send it off, Zach?
No, I think I think that should be it. But just remember to like and subscribe. We're also on Spotify now. If you're in our local area, please join us on the 15th at El Cardboard for a pre-release. We're going to be doing an epic pre-release. We are going to raffle off 2 epics, and then we have 4 epics for top 4 alongside your normal prizing. They're located in Pawtucket. And then we also are doing a mashup with One Up Games. That's going to be on the 21st of March, the Saturday of that weekend. And that's going to be One Up Workshop. And we're going to be giving away some of the DLC promos, the Pegasuses, the Foil Mulan, a set championship Maleficent, and a set championship Daisy Duck, along with a non-foil Pegasus DLC promo. So that's going to be the raffle for that one, and also prizing. That was just going to be a Swiss constructed tournament, a little bit more into Winterspell. So people probably have their cards already. So we just love having those events to be able to support the community. And if you can make it out in your local New England area to make it out to see us, we'd love to see you there. Please join us. If not, be with us in spirit and join us in on the gameplays and kind of see the new decks being built. Join us on our podcast on Spotify and your long commutes into work. And thank you for listening, guys.
Yeah, and I'm hoping too that at one of our events, we'll be able to raffle off a T-shirt or 2, and keep following, because we will eventually be doing a giveaway with a couple of our merch and possibly a card. So, yeah, this is the workshop, and now we're off the clock, baby.
Have a good night, and peace out.